All right, let's talk about buying a home. My name is Jacob Weaver. I'm with the Weaver Burn Group over at eXp Realty, located in Bellevue, Washington. And I'm here because I have four tips, that I think are really important and ultimately will reduce the stress, make a much smoother transaction, and ultimately help you find the home that you're looking for as fast as possible. The first thing that is super important when buying a home is to understand what are the order of operations when buying a home. I cannot tell you how many times I'm in an open house or I'm talking with somebody who is ready to write an offer. So I start asking a little bit, tell me a little bit about, where you're at, your past experience. Are you pre-approved? And this is something that people are a little bit surprised by sometimes when they're like, well, can't we just write the offer first and then get pre-approved? And the answer in most markets is no. Technically, contracts can allow you to do that and give you a window in which you can apply for financing. However, in most markets, in most parts of the country, that is a huge risk to sellers. What's really important is that you actually understand where your purchasing power is coming from prior to even thinking about writing an offer. That is the number one thing that I see that can really start to smooth out the transaction, as well as give some expectations about your emotional status and where your head's at, right? If you're looking for homes because it's an aspirational sort of visit, you're looking for things, you're curious about real estate, you're just dipping your toes in what is possible, that's a very different stage than when you actually start talking about writing an offer. If you think that you're at the point where you'd like to write an offer, then we're gonna take a step back and make sure that you're connected with the right lender for what you're trying to do. That pre-approval letter, making sure that all of your documents are in place, you've provided everything that you need to actually obtain the financing to purchase the house, that's going to be step number one. Second, we're gonna take that second step, we're going to start with the end goal in mind. So what are we trying to do when we're setting goals? It's easy to just hop on Redfin or Zillow and just look at an array of houses. I mean, you could go searching for homes for days and days and days. But what's important is if we define your goal as a buyer prior to looking at real estate, then what we can do is we can pair your real estate agent or your broker with your mortgage lender, and we can really, as a team, define which strategies and which loan products are gonna be the best fit to get you to where you ultimately wanna go. Now, that's one thing that a lot of people say, hey, I think I want this, and really it doesn't match or it's not in line with what their ultimate goal is. If we can start with that end goal in mind, then we can start to define what is the best strategy, what are the best neighborhoods, what are the best price points, what is the best loan product for your particular set of goals. That is one thing that, like, when you have the right team in place, you can absolutely shortcut so many steps and so many heartaches in looking at homes, because you've got multiple real estate professionals who have literally dedicated their lives to understanding what are the neighborhoods, what are the opportunities, and what are the strategies that fit each buyer profile. With that being said, an example of this, so many buyers come in and they say, oh, I'm not ready to buy because I don't have 20% down. Well, that 20% down might be an inaccurate variable to what your goal might be. There's actually a variety of loan products that, depending on what you're trying to do and what your exit strategy is and what your time horizon is, that might not be the best option for you. And really, there's all sorts of different options, from down payment assistance programs to low down payments to rehab loans. I mean, there's so many loan products and so many strategies that you can pair with them to really get you to where you want to go as fast as possible. Number three, the third piece of advice is that you want to create a relationship with your real estate broker that is based on honest feedback. This is really important because ultimately your real estate broker is here for you, similar to a personal shopper. You go to Nordstrom's and you say, I need a pair of shoes, and you could certainly walk through each aisle and you can look for a bunch of shoes and you can try them on and you can shop on your own. Or you can walk up to the salesman and say, hey, I need a pair of shoes that meet this requirement, this requirement, this requirement. And they're going to be able to walk right back to the aisle that they're in, pull them off the shelf for you, and really provide you exactly what you're looking for. If you're able to provide honest feedback about what you like and what you don't like, then that real estate professional is going to more easily be able to take you exactly to where you want to go. They're going to bring those shoes right out of the back and they're going to put them on your feet, and it's going to be a much smoother experience because they know the inventory, they know the options, they know whether it comes in black, brown, or green, whereas you might have to do a little more digging and really go through some heartache to figure out what's available and what's not. You are not going to hurt your real estate broker's feelings if you tell them you don't like a house that they might have picked out for you. Or they send you something that does not connect with you, tell them that. This is a relationship that really helps your real estate broker define what they're looking for and where they should place their efforts to make sure that you are seeing the homes that are not wasting your time, not wasting the broker's time, and get you to where you want to go as fast as possible with the ease and the process that feels best to you as the client. That can be anything really. The shape of the lot, the tree coverage, the architecture of the home, the design, the school districts, all of those things will allow for a much smoother process, and you're not gonna hurt your broker's feelings by telling them you do or do not like something that may or may not fit your goals. So number 4, pre-read contracts. So this is one thing that every jurisdiction has a different set of addendums, has a different set of purchase and sale contracts. We always advise our new clients, hey, why don't you go ahead and read the contracts prior to any of us going shopping? Before there's even a home that you might be interested in, go ahead and read those contracts so that you can read them at your own pace. You can ask questions. You can better understand how those contracts might play out in given situations. One thing we want to avoid is, writing an offer that feels like, you might be competing, or it's a Sunday night and, 9 o'clock in the evening, your real estate agent sends you an offer to sign and it's your first time seeing the contract and it's late, you've just gotten off work, you put the kids to bed, feeling stressed like you have to sign a legal document without really understanding what is in the contract. That could be a very stressful place to be in, and it leads to mistakes. Reach out to your real estate broker before you want to write the offer and ask them to see the typical purchase and sale agreements, as well as the most common addendums that might be used given your strategy and your goals in the transaction. This will allow you to just read through them, ask questions, really understand the timelines and how things might play out with the addendum stack that you will most likely be using. This gives you the perfect opportunity to incorporate an attorney or somebody on your financial team, which could be part of the picture, and it gives them a little bit of runway to help you understand how this might play out for tax liability reasons. Or maybe it's your attorney or an estate planning professional that might like to see or be there for you as one of your professionals in your wealth building, might prefer to have a little bit of extra time to walk through some of those contracts with you, answer questions that you might have. Ultimately, it will allow you to have a stress-free transaction, and it will give you that peace of mind that when you do sign the contract, when you do write that offer, you actually understand what you're signing. That's really important to us as a real estate broker and can really smooth out that transaction for you. So there you go. There's 4 tips for you as a buyer. Hope that's helpful. And if you have any questions, always just reach out, leave a comment, and go ahead and subscribe if you thought that this was a valuable bit of advice. Any other questions or things that you'd like to see in upcoming content, go ahead and leave a comment. Happy to just tailor this content exactly for you, the ones that are watching. So thanks again, Jacob Weaver with the Weaver Burn Group, and can't wait to see you next time.